Oliver Tambo,
Teta no bona.
Oliver Tambo,
wa teta no bona.
Oliver Tambo,
wa teta no bona.
Ayo Mandela, Ayo Mbeki,
Umandela uthahlo mehlasele osiyaya owesizwe lusaka Umandela uthahlo Umandela uthahlo mehlasele osiyaya power, all power. Oh, hinde endlela esihambayo. Oh, hinde endlela esihamba. Oh, hinde endlela esihambayo. Oh, hinde endlela esihamba. Washumandela ubalandeli bakhe wathi sodibana nge-free. Washumandela ubalandeli bakhe wathi sodibana nge-free.
Somlandela,
Wetambo tinazikoti wekaya Oliva wetambo tinazikoti wekaya Oliva wetambo tinazikoti wekaya Oliva Oliva, Oliva,
1976, 20,000 black South African students protested against the introduction of Afrikaans by the apartheid government as a medium of instruction in schools. Over the next 13 years, 10,000 school children were arrested and held in prison. 750 were killed, and thousands more were tortured and assaulted. Sarafina is their story.
Live TV from 85 plus channels with local sports and news. YouTube TV. Try it free.
What's this? Liberty.
Rap men on the beat. Venyo itina musika. Where I come from, where I'm going, each and of that's all I need for my journey. But I'm from Tibena, Kibena, you know. Too many voices, too much noise, I beg lower volume. Loud doesn't mean right, so keep quiet. Right doesn't even mean you are inspired. Back it up, rushing, running back to reality. My train cannot be too slow to reach my destiny. You moye, she wants to make Dum la ranye penny wo, she dum se me. Yeah. You moye, she lives to me. Ini mini money mo, she lives to me. Who you are, who you are. Who you are, who you are. Put you a day, do a different. Where you are, where you are. No, I can't make fun. Now what went wrong? That excitement's gone. The idea was to be happy, but my dear, he's not just dirty. I see young Molenchima, Madam Opportunist. You carry the cross, the bigger the cross, but so the greatest. You moya, she lives in me, ini mini money mo. She lives in me. Who you are?
the land? I said, who wanna know the land? My papa's land. My papa's land. Africa, it's my papa's land. Now, hear me. We are no fools on the hill. My people are no fools on the hill. You must let my people go, so we can roam from Cape to Cairo. You must free my people's hands, so we can rule our purpose land. I wanna know the land. Who wanna know the land? Okay, now listen carefully. Chinese are ruling the Chinese land. Japan is ruled by Japanese. England is governed by Englishmen. America is governed by Americans. So, Africa must be ruled by Africans. I wanna know the land. We must rule from Cape to Cairo. We must rule our purpose land. I said, you wanna know the land? I wanna know the land. Hey, purpose land. Purpose land. Purpose land. Must be free. Angola want to know the land. Mozambique want to know the land. Namibia want to know the land. I say, Soweto want to know the land. Zimbabwe want to know the land. African freedom fighters want to know the land. Purpose land. Now listen to the history. We've been here since creation. We've been here since creation. What a wonder. Since the time of sun and sun. Since the time of moon and stars. Since the time of air and sea. Since the time of men and things. We must run from Cape to Cairo. I said, we must rule our purpose land. Purpose land. Oh! Okay. Now I want to talk to my people. Iradanila, oh, I will know. Yeah, Iradanila, oh, I will know. Daneba, now we are the crossroad. On the Bambo, Dogla. Billy Daneba, on the Bambo, Dogla. Opalimu Yagera Baba. Yeah, Opalimu Jasu Yalaka. Yeah, Opalimu Tizanya Vetonye.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the broadcast today. It's a pleasure coming to you again. I am truly excited, very, very excited to be back here with you today. Most especially those of you tuning in from Ground Zero, and particularly in Bamenda, Abakwa, where we know there has been an invasion of the city since last week by colonial forces from La République du Cameroun. We are sorry for the brief issues that ABC had, not able to be on the ground during this time, but we are glad that since Tuesday, ABC has been back on Ground Zero and running. Thank you once more for tuning in. I'd like to welcome all of you watching ABC Amber Television from across Africa, the USA, Canada, South America, Asia, Europe. It is always my pleasure to come to you. It's a very, very special day, ladies and gentlemen. A very special day, and I did like you to quickly, for those of you joining by way of Facebook, to quickly go ahead to hit your share button. There is so much to talk about today. You all know that a lot has gone on there. A lot has gone on there since last week, since 2 weeks ago to today. So much has gone on there without our ability to effectively come to you with a message without ABC. But we are glad ABC is back to you. It was never banned. It will never be banned. So ignore all those guys who go to the latrine and come back without wiping their hands and come and trying to take over your leadership. So please, for those of you on the Facebook, I'd like you to quickly go ahead and hit your share button. Let us quickly make it 700 so I can come to you as soon as possible. We have so much to talk about today. Today, I'm going to be talking about the colonial restrictions in Bamenda and the coming lockdown. They're going to be a very, very special announcement that I will be bringing to you today concerning that lockdown coming up in Bamenda. We know there is a lockdown, a kind of a lockdown already going on there, but that is not what we expected and that is not what we intended. I am bringing to you today information about what lies ahead in the coming days, especially next week in the city of Bamenda and Mezam as a county. So I'm going to be talking about that. Also, we're going to be talking about the U.S. Senate resolution. U.S. Senate resolution, ladies and gentlemen, forcing La République du Cameroun and the country of France, to make sure there are negotiations, urgent negotiations, and negotiations that get to the root causes of this conflict. We're going to be talking about that also. And also we have learned of some so-called regional elections coming up in our territory, organized by a foreign country, La République du Cameroun. We're going to be coming to you also about that, ladies and gentlemen. We have also learned of another Amazonian prisoner chained to death. Ladies and gentlemen, in Douala. We're going to be talking about that. And also I would like to touch on these fabrications. I call them fabrications. Fabrications and allegations and lies making the rounds out there just to discourage Ambazonians who have drafted to support the war, to make sure they do not pay. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about this and maybe other stuff as the day goes on. So please, I'd like you to, as usual, we will also find out what is going on in Boyo since 2 weeks ago. There have been some developments there that we would like to find out. So please, I'm waiting for you to hit the 700 number on the Facebook screen before I come to you with this broadcast special. I shall be joined later in the hour by Intumfoin, Bo Herbert, and Barrister John Fru Insop, and Reverend Ingenie, who will be joining me all the way from Germany to tell us what is going on in Ginicom, Bello, Boyo as a whole. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Touch not your remote. All right, thanks for tuning in there, ladies and gentlemen. Again, please, you go ahead and hit your share button so I can come to you today with the presentation proper. Go ahead, hit your share button. The moment we hit 700 people here on the Facebook platform, I will come to you with the presentation proper. And I also would add that if time permits, I'll be taking a few phone calls from you. I would like to get as many phone calls as possible, especially from ground zero. So please go ahead and hit your share button. We're almost hitting 500. As you join, please you go ahead and hit your share button. As you join, you go ahead and hit your share button. We are learning that a Fon, they call him Fon Njong Gibet. Fon Njong Gibet of Mbesa. I think Mbesa is where? Say from Oku. He was abducted. This Fon was abducted between Oku and Bamenda. In other words, he was heading for Bamenda, and he was abducted on the way. And as we speak, nobody knows who picked him up and where he is at the moment. Again, that is the story of Fon Njong Gibet of Mbesa, who disappeared between Oku and Bamenda. On the way to Bamenda, he was abducted, and nobody knows where he is and who abducted him at the moment. So please have your ears out there. You'll find out who is keeping Fon Njong Gibet. Let us know. Get to us with that information. Again, we've got so much to talk about today. We're going to be talking about the lockdown that is already in process, but which will be intensified in Bamenda in the next week. We're going to also be talking about the U.S. Senate resolution and what every Ambazonian out there should be doing. And also there is an important announcement of a lady in Washington, D.C. who is lobbying U.S. Congress and of course Senate to make sure that the Cameroon, to make sure that this conflict is resolved within the context of one Cameroon. I shall be bringing you information about that lady so that every one of us can tweet to your congressman, tweet to your senator, for those of you in the USA, tweet to even to that lady herself. Let her know that this is no longer about one and indivisible Cameroon. It is about two countries that came together and they are now parting their ways. They are now parting their ways. We're also going to be talking about the so-called regional elections that French Cameroon is trying once more, testing our resolve to organize in our territory. And of course, we're going to be talking about another prisoner who has just died, chained in the hospital in Douala. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, if you have just joined, go ahead and hit that share button. And as I forget, we shall also be having some updates from Boyo. We're going to be having some updates from Boyo. A lot of things have been going on out there in Boyo for the past 2 weeks, and we'd like to know what is going on there right now. Again, I'm going to be joined later, possibly the next hour, by Ntumfo Imbo Herbert and Barrister John Fru. They will be joining me so we can do some analysis of events going on and events that have taken place. So please, we have about, I think about 120 people before we hit 700. If you have just joined, please hit that share button. I will always start coming to you the moment you give me that 700 number. In the meantime, let me see those of you who are here on the platform. Let me see those who are here already on the platform. Let me see. All right. As you join, please go ahead, hit your share button. I see Mercy Enjoy. I see Wonja, Christian. I miss the other name. Zoe Anderson, always on board. They Dawn, I see you, sir. Ad Free, I see you. Peter Mola, I see you too. Roger McLobe, thank you for joining. They Dawn says, greetings from Beijing, China. Wonderful. Great, sir. Akwanyang Thomas Nji, thank you, sir. Charles Folefe, I see you, my buddy, all the way from Dallas, Texas. Marcus Topman, thank you for joining. Larry and Dancy, another anchorman there. Roger Acha, thanks, sir. Fako Mountains, wonderful. Peter Moyongo, please hit your share button. The numbers are still slow. Not yet 600. Hit your share button. There is so much to come to you with today. After being out of here for about a week, you should imagine that I come to you with so much today. So please go ahead, quickly hit that share button. If you have just joined, quickly hit that share button. I see Asong Abram, the anchor man, is alive. Thank you. I see Jolie Jojo, wonderful. Richard James, J. Mbaku, Crescentia Kubri. Okay, John Akong, greetings to you. Secretary Chris from Ground Zero, wonderful. I hope you are safe out there. Brown Love, I see you. Oh, our able secretary. Thank you, sir. Julius Ng, Ernestino Jr., courage, Comrade Chris. You know the courage is always there, right? Nobody intimidates anyone on this screen, not me. Never, ever. And I have no doubt when they see this face, they see a nightmare. All right? Oh, Bishop Mondo, Amber forever. All right. Christian Kumbo, Kumela, Maris, kudos, Secretary Chris, she says. D.V. White, watching from Potsdam, Berlin. Rashe Manye, I said I shared already. All right, thank you. Margaret Mwango, I see you, Otello the General. Yes, in a caterpillar go take we. I miss the other one. Jolie Jojo, I mentioned that. Brandy Eric is always here. Larry Cooper always here. Betchu John always here from Sweden. Yeah, from Sweden. Ladies and gentlemen, we have less than 100 to go. Hit your share button if you have joined. Hit your share button if you have joined. Ojong Bismarck. Clement Akuro, who is Fogwe Alfred, the dragon face, ha ha ha, yeah, all right. Ndango Fred Acha, thank you, Secretary Chris, for putting David Makongo, what? I missed the other part of it. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Aloje, watching from Botswana. Wonderful. Please let me know what the channel in Botswana out there is. Let me know ABC's channel in Botswana, please. Wonderful. I see Gise, Italy. Also, Grace Azano, always one of those here. Teme Ben Kumbam, watching from Mauritius. Mauritius, please let me know what the channel out there is. Text me on 603-682-2687. Again, 603-682-2687. WhatsApp me on that number. Let me know what channel number you are watching out there in Mauritius. In the, which was the other place again? Those other places, please do. All right. John Che Akangwa. Thank you for joining. Inject Raymond. I see you. I like your comment. Inestino Jr. All right. John Che Akwanga mentioned you. Tiki Jones. Don't worry, Tiki Jones. You are absolutely in the wrong place. I see Natalia in Toro. Okay, L. Maxson Ndile. Wonderful. Ndango Fred, I mentioned you. Don Daniel, I see you. You are in the wrong place, Don Daniel. Wipe your tears. Gabolov, I see you. Prince JP, I see you. John Che, Hysen. Wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, about 30 to go. You must hit that 30. To make it 70 for me to come to you. I will start tonight with some reports. about Bamenda and Bello. And then after that, I will then proceed to the talking points for the night. So please go ahead and hit your share button while I get my correspondent, contributor for Bamenda to join this show. Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead, hit your share button. A lot has happened. A lot has taken place in Bamenda, ladies and gentlemen, over the weekend and up to now. Since last week, when the colonial mayor and the colonial governor, the colonial administrators imposed travel restrictions and business restrictions in all of the city of Bamenda in an extension to all of Mezam. We got a message for the colonial administrators, of course, today. And we got a message for the people of Ambazonia who are residents of Mezam County. Please, we feel your pain out there. We feel your desperation out there. And we feel your frustrations out there. And we're going to do everything within the power of this interim government to erase everything French Cameroon in the city of Bamenda in the coming weeks. You're going to watch it. You're going to see it. If they think that they have a handle over Bamenda, the people of Bamenda, they are mistaken. They are very, very much mistaken. We're going to erase their power and their influence in the county that is called Mezam in the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. So please, I'd like you to stay tuned as I get my Sama Thomas to join me to let us know what is going on. What is going on in Bamenda, this time. So please continue, go ahead, hit your share button, We have a long day ahead and an interesting, exciting show ahead, ladies and gentlemen. So, hello, Comrade Sama. Can you please turn down, there's some noise in your background there, if you can turn it down, please.
Okay. All
right, you sound better now. So, great to hear from you. I know you are the spokesperson for Mezam 2, or Bamenda 2 also. Yeah, Bamenda 2.
Yes.
And that is essentially the center of what is going on in the city. Tell us what you know is going on as of this moment, please.
So, because you know, the public had chosen to block the whole town, that businesses must not operate
right
in Bamenda Center as a whole. They started by saying that bikers must not ride into the center of the city.
Right.
We thought it was going to end at the center of the city, but that the operation is now extended into the whole city and even right into the suburbs of Margot.
Okay. Oh, so right now bikers are not allowed to even ride into the suburbs of Mancon and I guess in Quen too, am I right?
Well, not just bikers, Secretary Chris, but all the shops and stores in the quarters are locked. And what they usually call kale, they are breaking into people's homes, seizing whatever thing you have as a cutlass for farming and horse, and arresting people while looting property. That is exactly what they are doing in Bamenda Center as of this moment.
Okay. Okay.
So we don't know since when and where in the world has a system ever stopped people from buying cutlasses, especially in an area where everybody is supposed to be in position of a cutlass for clearing his or her farm. For even women in the entire Bamenda area, there's no household without at least 2 cutlasses for clearing of farms and hoes and diggers.
Right.
But these people, they've chosen, it seems because they couldn't do the job with bullets. COVID came, couldn't do the job for them. They now want the people to die of hunger, for we must not go to farm again, to farm food crops for the next season.
Now, how about markets as we speak? Have the markets, I'm talking particularly, you have the food market, the old fish, they call it old fish pond, Bamenda market, and Quail market. Are these markets now operating?
No, it was partially operational yesterday and on Monday the afternoon. But later on, with the situation at hand, it seems everybody, with that type of a tense situation where you will find bullets flying here and there. When you are in the market, you hear bullets at Musang and Tarinkon. How can you sit in the market? So in that situation, everybody is running back to his house.
All right.
Than for it to get you on the street, let them come and get you in your house.
Right. Now, these restrictions were passed.
I got a report there from my...
Go ahead.
But I got a report from my aunt there yesterday that even to get out of your house to go to the farm is not an easy task. And whenever there's a window that people could go to their farm, they will rush to the farm to harvest whatever thing you can. And you return back to the house while waiting till the next day or week that you'll be able to get out of your house to go to the farm. So the situation at the moment is even more deplorable than what it was last month.
Are people in the city in Bamenda prepared for a long shutdown until when we force these colonial administrators to reverse those regulations? Are people ready? Are they prepared for that?
Well, Senator Chris, taking into consideration the situation we are having at hand, I think that is the best thing for us to do. As we want to police the whole city, there is one particular guy at Nkwen, Amomezam.
Yeah, yes.
That is the person and the area where this guy is surrounded by Bamilikis, protected by La Republic's military. Life goes on in that area as if nothing is going on in the entire southern Cameroon. This Amomezam guy.
Right.
So, if we can call for, if there can be a 2-week lockdown, I think, whether they like it or not, they will be forced to join the queue.
It will not be a 2 weeks lockdown. It will be an indefinite lockdown. An indefinite lockdown until those restrictions are reversed. Life will never be the same again in the city of Bamenda in particular and Mezam in general. That is a message we want everybody in the city of Bamenda to know, and that is the reason why we made it very clear we were giving the people in Mezam the full week of this week to make shopping, do shopping, stock your homes with food, stock your homes with drinks, with medications, knowing that the week ahead Bamenda is going to be sealed down. If Okada cannot move, if taxis cannot move, no private vehicle transportation civil servant administrator would move. And ladies and gentlemen, listen to me and listen to me very, very attentively. Everything in uniform in the city of Bamenda will be erased. Everything in uniform, in La République du Cameroun uniform, be it the gendarme, the police, or the army, anything seen in uniform is an enemy to the people of Ambazonia, and Ambazonians have the right to erase, to wipe them. Nothing in uniform, nothing in uniform should move on the street, anywhere on the street of Bamenda. Bamenda should be a no-go area for anybody in uniform. We cannot allow them come into our country and dictate our style of life. That will not go on. Comrade Sama, come in here. What is your take on this?
Well, Secretary, that is the best thing for us to do. Like I did mention, Amomezam. There is one recalcitrant fellow there. I don't know his name.
Okay.
But the successor or the guy who took over the business of late Young Francis and PCH as we call CPH as we call it, what? This is one of the guys that since this revolution started, he had violated everything and every decision that we've taken that is going to help the people of Southern Cameroon. This particular guy, he is one. I am telling him that the day, 99 days for the thief and 1 day for the owner.
Absolutely.
La Republic can protect him till thy kingdom come.
Absolutely. La Republic cannot protect them indefinitely.
Cannot protect themselves before talking of protecting him. The day he will enter into the drug net, on that day, he will go and inform his father what happened to him and his and whatever thing that he left behind as property for his family.
All right, Comrade Sama, thank you. Please, let's keep in touch with what goes on down there. I want the people in Bamenda, ladies and gentlemen, Bamenda, we want you to know lockdown is coming up beginning Monday. Beginning Monday. If Okada riders cannot do business in Bamenda, if taxis cannot do business in Bamenda, the entire Bamenda should be in fraternity, with this particular business sector. How many people in Bamenda today can pay taxis, can hire private cars to deliver them, to take them to business? Okadas have been playing that role, being able to accept 100 francs, 200 francs to take you where you want to go. But the colonial administrators have shut down that sector of the economy, and they are saying they cannot go to Obsession Bamenda. They cannot go to anywhere downtown Bamenda. They cannot even now enter Nkwen or enter Mancon. This is solidarity, ladies and gentlemen. This is solidarity. Solidarity for every Okada rider in Bamenda and taxi rider in Bamenda. We are shutting down Bamenda coming next week, and it will be indefinitely. It will be indefinitely. And why Bamenda is shut down? We have no doubt the ploys of French Cameroon to go door to door, harass people, abduct them, arrest them, loot their homes. We have no doubt what they got to do. But this is the moment. This is the moment, ladies and gentlemen in Bamenda. This is the moment that everyone becomes a fighter, an amber fighter. This is the moment. The moment has come that everybody must become an amber fighter. When they come, knock your door, walk in, loot, rape, and pick you out, they don't care who you are. They don't care whether you have a gun or you have a machete or what. They just do it. And so everyone in Bamenda must become a fighter. Whatever that you can do to resist the annexation, the occupation, and the invasion, everyone must do it his own way now, to the effect that anybody found in uniform, police, gendarme, soldier, army, in the city of Bamenda, they are devils. They are enemies. And we must all resolve in our minds to one after the other get rid of them, like what happened in Small Mancon the other day when that other one was taken out. Erase. They call it Operation Clean. We will call it Operation Erase Everything Uniform. Hashtag Operation Erase Everything Uniform. Again, hashtag Operation Erase Everything Uniform. Uniform in the city of Bamenda. It has started. You got to do what you can do to preserve your rights and freedoms and not allow a few colonial officers to come intimidating you, killing you, arresting you, and looting everything that you've got out there. The time has come, and if need be, all of Ambazonia, listen to me, we will all shut down. If need be, all of Ambazonia will all shut down in solidarity with Bamenda. If Bamenda is shut down for the next 2 weeks, the next 1 week, and they do nothing, all of Ambazonia will be shut down in solidarity with Bamenda. I love everyone out there. Take note of this. So beginning Monday, unless they reverse their instruction, there will be an indefinite lockdown of Bamenda. You try to defy the orders, you do so at your own risk. Beginning Monday, nothing will move on the streets of Bamenda. And we don't know when they're going to end. Not until those colonial regulations are reversed in the city of Bamenda. Now, this is what is going to happen. The lockdown will start on Monday. And then Saturday will be a break. Sunday will be a break. And then continue next Monday. In other words, until the restrictions are reversed, every blessed week in Bamenda will be locked down. with the exceptions of Saturdays and Sundays. Saturdays and Sundays. Saturdays and Sundays. Let this news spread around. And if you have not yet made your preparations, please do so. If you have not yet made your preparations, we ask you, please stock food now. Stock drinks. Stock your medications. Because the days ahead will be very, very harsh. Very, very harsh. And as I speak to you, our restoration forces know exactly what they got to do. But besides the restoration forces, we are urging everybody, every young man, young woman in the city of Bamenda and in Mezam as a whole, we declare it from today that anything uniform, La République du Cameroon uniform in the city of Bamenda is an enemy. Is an enemy that must be eradicated. Eradicated, that means cleanse them. Cleanse the city of anything in uniform. We saw them the other day, last week. They arrested hundreds of men and women to the GMI police station in downtown Bamenda, opposite the General Hospital. And you thought that what they were trying to do was protect those women. No, it wasn't. It turned out that what they were doing was to use the women and the men, all the people they arrested, they were using them as a shield around themselves so that they are not invaded by true soldiers. And so they brought all these women, almost 1,000 of them, and surrounded their barracks with a crowd. They were afraid to go out and look for the real soldiers. So, ladies and gentlemen, Bamenda, listen to me. Everyone has become a fighter. Everyone has become a fighter, and you don't have to have a gun. You don't have to have a machete. Whatever you can do, wherever you find them, hide somewhere and take them down, erase them. That is the way to go. If they think they are smarter, let them come out in their uniforms. And watch out now going forward. For those of you living in Bamenda, know who your neighbor is. You must know who your neighbor is. Know what he does. If he is a police, if he is a gendarme, he is an army, colonial army, please let us know. Let us know. None of them should live near you. Point them out. Review them out. After all, you sit in your home and make your phone calls. Nobody knows what you are doing in your home. Correct? You find them, they are your neighbors. Anybody in French Cameroon uniform who is your neighbor, point them out. It is Operation Erase Everything French Cameroon military, police, and gendarmes from the city of Bamenda. They don't want you to leave. We will make sure we give them hard times to live in that city also. That is a project. Next week is coming. Please stay put in there, and we will get this. We will get this settled. Now, before I bring in my, before I go into the other subjects of the day, let me bring in my guest who will be talking to us about updates from Boyo. Updates from Boyo. A lot also took place in Boyo yesterday. I mean, last week, ladies and gentlemen. Boyo was invaded. Boyo was invaded by the same La République du Cameroun troops. I guess what they are doing now is move from county to county and shut down the county, shut down life for the people. But unfortunately, they are meeting their match in an untrained army that has the courage and the resolve to defend their own territory. That is what our boys, the Ambazonia Restoration Forces, are doing. They are giving them a match for their so-called money. And so, 2 weeks ago, Boyo has been a hot territory, a hot place, and we'd like to know what is going on now. I'm joined by Reverend Njini from Germany, who is very much conversant of what is going on in Boyo. Reverend Njini, it's a pleasure to have you back again, sir.
It's my pleasure too, Secretary Chris, and special greetings to all the fans and viewers of Ambazonian Broadcasting Corporation.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Let's go straight to the point. Tell us, since last week, what is going on in Boyo, and precisely where in Boyo, which are the towns these attacks in Boyo are going on?
Thank you, Secretary Chris. Before I come to that, if you permit me, let me add something to what Comrade Thomas Sama just said concerning the atmosphere in Bamenda. Our intelligence, a few minutes ago, I talked with somebody who gave me the information that while these agents of La Republique had coordinated an atmosphere of a fake lockdown in town without the consent of the people's interim government, businesses have really been solving frustration around, except for some of those recalcitrant cases that really think that they have the cause to do what they're doing. And one thing to note is the fact that there are some of these military guys who are literally walking within the quarters now in Bamenda. They're roaming the streets and move from one quarter to another, then doing hawking. They're selling things. So beside those who are littered everywhere, because they're trying to monitor and frustrate that projected or speculated that the people's government were going to bring up a lockdown to frustrate their activities and the efforts towards regional elections. Now, so these guys positioned everywhere, littered everywhere in town, but some of them have been found right inside the quarters, hawking. You will not imagine, you know.
Of course, the soldiers are inside the quarters. Now, are they in the quarters in uniforms?
The ones in the streets are in uniforms, but some of them have been disguised into the quarters now as hawkers, you know, trying to track down the attention of the people and find out who is who wherever. So it's better, it's good, like you say, that our people should be very, very vigilant. Know your neighbor. Who is your neighbor? Is he or she a new person or people you know? Right. And don't fool around with people who come around trying to hawk or sell things to you. They are really, intelligence has proven to us that there are so many of them disguised. You will not know that they are military guys. But they
it is very, very important. I'm not cutting you short, but we can't emphasize this enough. Everybody in the city of Bamenda, listen to me. It is very, very important. You know who is sleeping next door. You know who is sleeping next door to you. If somebody is stealthily, quietly coming in and going out, make an alarm, create an alarm, let people know, let people find out who that person is. The living in Bamenda must be hell, made hell for any uniformed person or uniformed person who is sneaking in and sneaking out, going out, slaughtering people, killing people, and sneaking back into your neighborhood. You must fish them out, send out the information to us. Yes, please, Alfred, go on.
Thank you, Secretary Chris. And I think our people should be sensitive enough not to entertain any discussion with strangers, you know, trying to answer questions or maybe give them directives or whatever. They should really be very, very vigilant. Now, coming back to Boyo County, since 2 weeks ago, particularly from the 26th of August, we had noticed the unusual invasion of the land, which I told you already that over 35 trucks of the military of the La Republique came into the land. And they invaded all the local government areas, trying to do what they didn't succeed in their mission. It's true that at the end of the day, when they went out trying to put propaganda with fake videos, there were some few people, I think about 3 people who were in that video, claimed to be Amber guys or Amber boys, restoration fighters that were arrested, but they were just local builders because some people really could recognize. There were 2 names given, meaning they picked them up. We don't know whether they picked them up with their consent to play the drama or whatever. But since ever then, I mentioned to you that some of the trucks left the land, but some of the military were kept back in the land. Now, for the last 1 week, the development and intelligence so far till today shows to us that these guys have been trying to infiltrate amongst the population within the land from the Bello, LJ, Ginicom, Fundong, all through the land of Boyo. And what they have been trying to do is trying to entice and recruit young men, young women. Some of them have been carried to Yaoundé as I'm speaking to you for training or orientation to come back and work as spies in the land. So the rest that were left there, the military, are working hand in hand with a team or a handful of quite a number of sons and daughters of this Boyo County who lives in Yaoundé particularly. There are a few of them in Bamenda, some in Douala, and in other places within the La Republic. But now, a few of them in Yaoundé who have stood out and they call themselves or name themselves the elite of Boyo. They are the ones behind this military invasion in Boyo, and they are the ones behind enticing and recruiting innocent young children, taking them to Yaoundé, training them, or to send them back to work as spies. Now, the reason why the military is stationed there, the rest that remain there till now, is because those elite have planned to invade Boyo this weekend. Today is Thursday already. Tomorrow is the dawn of the weekend. And some of them are already on their way. Some are yet to take off from Yaoundé. Intelligence has proven to us that they have been sent by the La Republic government with pregnant envelopes to corrupt every local chief within the land of or the county of Boyo, so that they will cooperate with them and cooperate with the government to frustrate the activities of the restoration fighters in the land, and then facilitate their regional forthcoming election as they claim. But unfortunately, it cannot work. I talked with one of our guys on ground a few minutes ago. He told me that since after the invasion, when they left on the first, some of them left on the first travel back to Bamenda, they had not been accessed between Bello to Fundo ever since. All vehicles that left Bamenda ended in Bingo. And there are road blocks now between Bingo and Bello.
Who is blocking the roads? Is it our own restoration forces or the colonial forces?
Yes, our restoration forces are the
ones
blocking.
Why are they doing so? Is it for security reasons or what?
Yeah, it's for security reasons. They just want the people to cooperate with them and not fall victim to the atmosphere that has been attacked by La République du Cameroun. And now we are very obedient to that.
We have heard rumors of some indigents, residents, collaborating with French Cameroon forces and leaking out the hideouts of our restoration forces in Bello. Is this true?
It is true, Secretary Chris. I mentioned to you last time that beside the fact that they had a map that they were following, they were real guys, disguised and dressed like military guys, working with them in their cars. And even on the footpaths that they took into the different places they went last week or the last 2 weeks. Now, intelligence has proven to us, and there are names that have been verified and proven to be those guys who are coordinating La Republic and facilitating their task into Boyo County. And as we are speaking to you, our restoration forces are informed about each and every one of these guys. They are daring. We don't know how many of them will dare to enter back the land, because this weekend, like I said, they have been programmed to come back and then go from one quarter to another, move around the whole villages of the Boyo County, corrupt the local chiefs with envelopes.
Now
they are the ones who have been, through phone calls, recruiting and enticing and sending transport for some of these vulnerable ones to move down to Yaoundé for their orientation, so that they can come back and work with them healthily in the land as spies.
Now, we are informed that quite a number of those colonial forces were erased in Boyo in the past days. What have you been able to confirm? You have any idea of the numbers that have fallen?
No, I got that information too, but to the numbers I can't confirm. I tried to talk with some of the guys there on ground zero, but nobody was able to give me exact number. They said it is evidently true, because the way some of them were wiped out or knocked out there in the land and carried out as corpses. The rest who were wounded were carried out for their treatment, and literally they died. Some died in Bamenda. I don't know whether they transported some, but we have not gotten their number.
How is the level of psychological preparedness for the people in Bello to sustain these attacks from French Cameroon, and also the preparedness of our Ambazonia restoration fighters to keep on the heat on these guys?
Thank you, Secretary Chris. I think you mentioned it. It's on twofold. The preparation of the people in the land is very high. They are really, really terribly frustrated with every movement and actions of La République du Cameroon within the Boyo County. And they are ready to die if it means dying for the cause of truth and justice. So at their level, they are prepared. And at the level of the restoration fighters, they have been so resilient, like I said, and committed to the cause. And the good thing, I really appreciate them, because when we talk to them, we understand they have this conviction that this is a revolution.
I think your image is frozen there.
They have confidence and trust in God.
Your image is frozen there, and I think it is back now.
Yeah, I have some.
Yes, go ahead, please, go ahead.
Yeah, I think it was network.
Yes.
Yes. So I just was mentioning that the preparedness in the land of Boyo County is on twofold. The people of the land are so frustrated, and their minds are made up. They have nothing to do, and they have nothing to entertain by agents of La République du Cameroun. So they are determined to stand through the test of time, no matter what it takes, until we arrive here. And then the restoration fighters are resolved in their commitment. Their zeal is something that, we talked about them, talk with them, and we imagine what is the goals upon their life. It's not only the fact that they are resolved in their commitment, but they have the conviction and testify that they believe that God who has sustained them through, despite the crafty ways and strategies used by La République against them, that has not succeeded, will not succeed. And that no matter what comes their way, that's why they shut down the places and everybody's obedient to them. That's a clarity to prove what I'm saying.
All right. Is there any specific message you would love to pass out to the people in Boyo?
Yeah, I think there is a message, Secretary Chris, especially to them who one way or who have their people connected to follow up what we're saying. We want to make the so-called elites of Boyo living in La République du Cameroun, who have the guts to do what they're doing or plan what they are planned, to know that this cause has been sustained so far now, and that with God supporting and sustaining it with our restoration forces, none of them will succeed in their mission. Unfortunately, they are going to be the victims, because if you are committed to the cause of serving a wicked master at the expense of your own very people and your own land, then you are going to die the death of fools. So we are giving them as a warning to those who are wise. Let them back up as soon as possible. And to some of them who have been enticed, deceived, you'll be shocked, Secretary Chris, that some of them have been promised a sum of 50,000 francs, to sell their conscience, their people, sell their land, to work as spies of La République du Cameroun. And to those who have dared and who are daring to go for their orientation to come and work as spies, they will die the death of fools. I can't get you, Secretary Chris. There's a problem with the volume. I don't know whether my connection with yours.
All right, I think you can hear me now.
I can
so
hear you
please
now.
Stay put out there. Let's get to other subjects, and I'll be able to bring you back with the rest of the panel. Stay put there, please. And ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Again, these announcements for Bamenda are very, very important. Again, we have made it very, very clear. A shutdown of Bamenda is going to take place beginning Monday. Weekends, that is Saturdays, Sundays, will be open for people to do shopping. Shopping on Saturdays, shopping on Sundays, Mondays, the rest of the weeks are all shut down. Not until colonial officers in the city of Bamenda and Mezam as a whole reverse those restrictions that they have put out there, limiting the freedom to move of people in the city of Bamenda. And so that is what is coming up. Please stock your homes with food, with drinks, with medications, knowing that until Saturday and Friday next week, there will be no going out. I'd like to move to the other subject right now. Something is happening, ladies and gentlemen, and it is the intervention of the United States Senate, in this Ambazonian crisis. Over the week, the United States Senate sent out a resolution what do they call it again? I would say a bilateral resolution that is both members of the House and members of the Senate sent out a resolution basically indicting La République du Cameroun of human rights abuses in Ambazonia, and then called on Cameroon, La République du Cameroun, to hasten, to rush up, get to the negotiations table. It was very, very indicting of La République du Cameroun and the French government. However, there is no doubt that the United States continue to speak the language of one Cameroon, because reading from that resolution, it is easy to detect that they are still thinking of Ambazonia in one Cameroon and Cameroon as one Cameroon, in the context of one Cameroon. That is one thing that is wrong. That is wrong in that resolution. And so that is what lies ahead. Now, what we would want every Ambazonian to do is contact your congressman, contact your senator. I know Boyo has already done something that is very easy to copy and send to your senator, to your congressman or woman, and he will be here to give us a little more information on what every Ambazonian in the USA has to do with their senators and their congressmen or women. So, Boyo is coming up with that important information. Now, another thing that we'll learn, ladies and gentlemen, is this so-called regional elections that La République du Cameroun is organizing in the context of decentralization and special status for Ambazonia. Special elections, regional elections are coming up in every county. All over Ambazonia, I guess they are Zoom, and in La République du Cameroun. Now, I don't understand why these guys just don't get it. They just don't get it. They think they can keep on doing these things with impunity, and we just allow them to do it. Haven't they learned the lesson that they did not organize council elections in Ambazonia? Didn't they realize we did not allow them to hold parliamentary elections in Ambazonia? Didn't they realize we did not allow them to organize presidential elections in Ambazonia? Why do you think it will stop them organizing those elections? We will now allow them somehow to go out and organize these so-called regional elections. They think that they are doing decentralization. Hello, decentralization? When your governors are still appointed, when your mayors are appointed, when your SDOs are appointed, that will never again be part of Ambazonia. Never, ever again. And let me pass a message, ladies and gentlemen, to whoever in Ambazonia thinks he can go in for any kind of elections organized by La République du Cameroun, be it regional, parliamentary or presidential. It is not going to happen. And this particular election, I want those in Ambazonia, those cronies in Ambazonia who think they can still organize elections for French Cameroon in Ambazonia and go to so-called regional councils or regional houses and stand election. I want you to know those regional councils and those regional houses are no longer in Yaoundé. Oh, yeah, I got it right. Those regional houses are no longer, parliamentarians were able to sit in Yaoundé, sit in Douala, contest elections in Bamenda, in Boyo, in Kumba, in Victoria. Because after all, they can sit there forever and not have to go back to their territory, to their constituencies. But unfortunately for those who think they can go out and stand these so-called regional elections, You have to be in your region all the time. You have to be there. Let me assure you, there will be nowhere for you to hide. Because you are not going to Yaoundé. There will be nowhere for you to hide in them. Let's see where that those regional houses will hold. In the northern zone, in the southern zone. Let's see where they will hold. They will not hold. Neither will the elections take place. And if your name should appear in any list as a regional councillor, you're not going to run to Yaoundé, right? Because the councillors are meeting in their own places, in their own communities. So we will be after you. We've had enough enablers and traitors in this revolution. I would like you guys to wait until this conflict is over. When the form of state is decided, you can go about and run for any office, run for any election. Nobody develops qualms with you. But for now, nothing. Nothing. Like regional elections in Ambazonia, it is dead on arrival. Don't make the mistake. Don't make the mistake to have your name appear in any list in Ambazonia pertaining to that election. Again, I want you to know. I want you to know. Those offices are no longer in Yaoundé. They have to be either in Boyo or in Bamenda. And take note, you are not going to run away this time like parliamentarians and senators, so-called, who are hiding in Yaoundé. Those so-called chiefs and funds who are also hiding in Douala in Yaoundé. We're going to see where you're going to go to attend those meetings, so-called regional councils. We are looking out for you. We are looking out for you. This selling of your own people, the time has come, sirs, that you reconsider. What you are doing. No regional elections, because we will come after you. La Republic is doing all these things to tell the international community life is returning. We are making reforms. We are changing things. We are decentralizing. What are they decentralizing, ladies and gentlemen? What have they actually decentralized? Everything is in a label. It's in the name. Oh, special status. We don't see special status even if we don't want it. Regional council elections and so on. What is it? Where on earth are governors appointed? But in La République du Cameroun or French colonies, where on earth are mayors appointed, government so-called? In fact, there is nothing like government delegates anywhere in a civilized society, in a civilized country. You have only mayors. Mayors. They run the cities. They run the police. They run the economy. They do everything. But you come to that little fraudulent country headed by a man we don't even know whether he is alive. You have the governors, he appoint them. You have the DOs, he appoint them. You have the mayors, he appoint them. When displaced people are giving diapers, his picture is hanging beside the wall, so everything comes from him. When the minister is making an announcement, it came from the fund of funds from our wonderful president, His Excellency. I have never seen a wicked president called His Excellency. Come on, whose Excellency? I hate that title for any African leader, because I have never seen His Excellency in Africa. Never. All right. I think I've made a point, ladies and gentlemen. Let me move to another point right now. I've talked about Operation Clean Bamenda, Operation Erase Bamenda. Now, the next subject I bring to you, is the one of fabrications and lies. All the fabrications you hear out there coming from enablers, enemies of this struggle. They pretend they are fighting the same fight with us. I think the moment needs to come that we begin to take down record, ladies and gentlemen. I think the time has come that we begin to take down records of who is for and against this struggle. And it is not the language you speak that makes you part of this struggle. It is what you do. It is what you do that counts you as part of this struggle. A few days ago, we have been reading in the social media of some IRS records just recently discovered with so much money that the interim government raised and hid it away from the people and told the people that they raised only $800,000. Ladies and gentlemen, when are they going to be over? When is it going to be over? We just finished a draft. I thought they should be talking about the draft. No, they just suddenly, sneezily went back to my trip to Boyo. I'm sorry I'm even talking about it here, but I think that there are people that we should educate out there. Let them understand what is going on. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, is that there are those Pharisees and Sadducees out there who hate to see anything good happening in this revolution initiated by your interim government. Yes, that's exactly what they are. They don't want to see anything good initiated for this revolution, for this struggle by your interim government. Suddenly, the interim government has raised over $2 million in the past 2-3 months. And suddenly somebody go out and bring our IRS tax filing. Let me explain to you what happens. In the USA, every corporation, be it business or non-business, for profit or not for profit, you are compelled by law to file in your taxes, your income and expenditure statement every year. You are compelled by law to do so. And when you run a government, ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to come out and announce, oh, this government raised 1.3 million or 2 million. Did the interim government come out to tell you what their budget is from the beginning of the year? And why did you think they would have to come out and tell you what they filed at the IRS? Why should they do that? Why must they do that? What we have seen in those IRS papers, they are straight, without any gimmicks in them. There was need to announce what was raised from my trip to Boyo, because it was a particular project. The government was not operating only on what came in through my trip to Boyo. Absolutely not. The amount was announced and publicized because people who donated needed to know how much we raised. Exactly what we have done with a draft. Every draft, the amounts are announced. Every draft, the amount is announced. Now, besides the draft, besides my trip to Boyo, there are still dues that faithful Ambazonians, committed Ambazonians, are still paying on a monthly basis to the interim government. Those are the dues that operate the government on a day-to-day basis. Why did the government have to why must the government come out and announce that? They don't have any reason whatsoever to announce that. But the IRS deserves to know, because by law you got to tell them as a non-profit what you raise and what you spend. That is why the two amounts featured in that statement. Now we had auditors from all the counties, come in, ladies and gentlemen, into your interim government to audit every account, audit every book in the interim government. They have not complained. They have not complained. But people who have never supported this struggle with a dime, people who are doing Facebook exhibitionism, people who are doing Facebook showmanship, they are the first to go out and say, oh, they ate 500,000. They ate this. They did this. They embezzled this. Ask them to show you a receipt, a single receipt of their own contribution towards this struggle. They cannot show you. They cannot present it to you. They cannot present it to you. Why should you listen to such people? We call them enemies, enablers, detractors who have nowhere to belong in this struggle. The interim government did not have to come to anybody to disclose what they filed to the IRS. But this is the point, ladies and gentlemen. The reason why you are seeing all these empty empty noise out there from empty people is because they just want you. They want you who have drafted for your own county, not for the interim government. They want you not to honor those pledges. They want you to believe that the interim government is going to eat your money. Now remember, your money is going to your county, not to the local, not to the interim government. Your money actually is going to your local government. Your local government. Your draft goes to your local government. So if you know your local government, those are the people you want to scrutinize for how the funds are used, not your interim government. We are only giving them directives and monitoring to see how they utilize their funds. That is what the interim government is doing. So I want to appeal to every one of you Ambazonian out there, disregard these empty talkatives out there. Facebook, I don't know what name I should qualify them. But please, let us move on. Don't even respond to it. They thought they have just blown an alarm. And by the way, let me ask you, what is new in those papers? What is really new in those? Is there anything new that you do not know in those papers? Please, let's remain focused. Let's remain focused. I want to assure you, none of us here is moved. None of us here is moved. You can say any nonsense thing out there. I want to assure you, we will remain here steadfast. We will remain very strong. Dr. Sako will stand very, very strong. Very, very strong. This cabinet remains very, very strong. Chris Anu is not shaken by your empty noises out there. We will keep on doing what we know is good for our struggle, and we will not be shaken. Absolutely not. So please, let me appeal to all of you out there. If you made a pledge during the draft and you have not yet honored it, please, shame the infiltrators, shame the enablers, shame the detractors by paying and putting your receipt online. Let them know that in spite of their destruction, you have paid. That is what we should be doing. Pay and write their name on the receipt and put online. Let them see that in spite of what they are trying to do, their destruction, you are paying, Ambazonians are paying. We will continue to pay. We must take back our country. We must take back our country, ladies and gentlemen. That is it. So, I will now bring in my panel. I will now bring in my panel for today. Again, I am joined by Intumfoin, Bo Herbert, Barisan So is supposed to be with me. I don't see a good picture from him, but we will work on that. And, but let me bring in Intumfoin, Bo Herbert. Let's see, we have a better image here. All right. Intumfoin, please, thanks for once more joining me on the broadcast at a very short notice. Hope you're having a great day, sir.
Thank you very much. So far, so good. We are listening to what's going on in Ambazonia, and when it is going well there, it is going well here. Currently, it is not going well there, so we have to tighten up and we have to do our work.
All right, all right. Thank you. So much has taken place in the past 2 weeks or so. In the invasion of Boyo, now we have the invasion of Bamenda. So many things going on. Please, if you can give us a little bit what you have gathered, particularly from Boyo, which is your constituency. What do you know is going on out there, sir?
First, I'd like to say also that I'm always very delighted to join you, Chris. Let me also just indicate a piece of news for the people of Ambazonia, and congratulations for those of you who live in the United States for the work that you have been doing. At this moment, and despite the fact that we are under 24 hours ever since we launched a letter petition towards the Senate of the United States, that letter petition has already been delivered to 68 members of the Senate. So there are 100 members of the Senate. We are at 68 right now, Ambazonians out there. You are the ones delivering the letters. Go in there, find the address of your member of Senate, and send that letter to them. Make sure that no one is covering up what's going on in Ambazonia. Now, with respect to what went on in...
All right, Tufan, before you get back to the main subject there, it's good that you started with the issue of U.S. Senate. Please paint a little bit picture of what that resolution is all about, so our people get a better understanding of it, please.
Okay, thank you very much. I mean, one thing with the people of Ambazonia, I urge you, every time you see a resolution, don't just jump because they mention us in it. Read that resolution, because our job is to keep watch of our revolution. Our job is to make sure that nobody will mislead us. And this is what is great about this resolution. I'll highlight a few points. The first point is that the U.S. Senate is very clear that what is going on is a civil war. This is the first time that the word war has been used in any resolution by any country, by anyone. And it is an important detail because it means that a rogue government, a terrorist government, has waged war on its own people. It claims to be its own people. So it is a war. Now, the distinction is very clear because that same resolution mentions what is going on between La République du Cameroun and Boko Haram, and they call it an insurgency.
Right.
So different. And they mention what is going on in the east of the country. And they indicate that what is going on with the east of the country is a matter of cross-border crime and criminality. So completely different from Ambazonia. Now, when they say all these things, then they try to lump all of us together. They try to talk to us about inclusive dialogue. They try to talk to us about La République du Cameroun opening the dialogue to discuss with all of us. Now, that is out of the way. There is no way we are going to talk about an inclusive dialogue with La République du Cameroun. So this resolution, while it says these good things, it goes further and it tries to rehash a whole litany of tried solutions, if you can call them solutions, by Mr. Biya, that have all failed. They go back and talk to us about the Commission for Bilingualism and Multiculturalism, which is, as everyone knows, a white elephant. They talk to us about the Grand National Dialogue and its outcome and implementation of same, which we know nobody wants to hear anything about. So I don't know why they are wasting their time touching on those issues which Ambazonians are not even going to think about. Now, they discuss the issue of the Swiss-led process. And this is where Congress, the Congress of the United States, is trying to mislead the people of Ambazonia. They're trying to suggest that, as a matter of fact, we could have a new process with Mr. Biya. And Congress is trying not to acknowledge the fact, which has been acknowledged by State Department, that the U.S. government is working officially with the Swiss-led process. And they're trying to find a way for Mr. Biya to start some kind of process. Now, Congress acknowledges very clearly that they funded the B. In other words, they are funding this genocide that is unfolding in Ambazonia right now. And it is a horrible crime to accept that. And they recognize that it is in contravention of a certain number of rules and laws of the United States. So the time is coming when the people of Ambazonia will sue the U.S. government with respect to these matters. But we need to first clarify what is going on with our country. Now, it is very clear that the U.S. government raises the point about what kind of country this is. They say very clearly it is a Francophone-dominated government. They say very clearly that for the 50 years or 60 years that Mr. Biya has been in power, they have made policy exclusively to benefit the Francophone majority. Now, if something was not clear, that is very, very clear. And one thing they tell the people of Ambazonia that we must not budge on. They tell the people of Ambazonia that we must only pursue non-violent methods. That is great. But on condition that they can tell La République du Cameroun to pursue only non-violent methods.
Correct, right.
The people of Ambazonia have an obligation to defend themselves when you show up violently and you are killing people as they're trying to do in Bamenda right now, and I've been doing all across Ambazonia. And then Congress cannot tell the people of Ambazonia that they should adopt non-violent methods and then start telling us that we should stop the boycott of schools. That is a non-violent method. We will multiply those non-violent methods and we are not stopping at anything. The people of the United States, the Congress of the United States, must remember that their country voted for the independence of Ambazonia, that is a part of United Nations resolutions, that it is part of the international law, and that they have a responsibility, international treaty obligations, to uphold the rights of the people of Ambazonia who are fighting for exactly what they deserve. We have asked for nothing more, no favors, absolutely no opportunity for them to give us something that we don't deserve. What we deserve now is what America deserved in 1776. Unless they're going to give back their own independence to Britain, they should make sure that Ambazonia keeps its independence.
Thank you. Let me switch to Barrister John. Barrister John, I guess you have been reading this U.S. Senate resolution. Tell us, give us your take on it. What you think? I think Bo has enumerated some very, very vital shortcomings of that resolution. We cannot fold our hands while La Republic kills our people as they are doing in Boyo, they are doing in Bamenda right now. Tell us what you have seen to be some of the shortfalls in that resolution, Barrister John.
Thank you, Chris. I think Bo has enumerated all the pitfalls of that resolution. But I want to say that diplomacy is a very difficult game to play. I want to say that diplomacy is a very difficult game to play. Before now, there was no talk of having our case in the Security Council. Well, the U.S. has indicated that they want an immediate ceasefire by that resolution, and that they will be debating this Cameroon issue in the Security Council. Before now, Cameroon was not featuring on the Security Council. Our matter was not featuring in the Security Council. I take that as a positive aspect of that resolution. For the first time, the United States the Congress has called for an immediate ceasefire. Look, we have to make a dichotomy between the U.S. Congress, which is tinted with all kinds of political gimmicks and gives and takes, and because they want to place La République du Cameroun somehow, and so on and so forth, and the State Department. The State Department is clear on the issue of our sovereignty. They have not said so. They have not said so. Thabo Nagi has said all these things about reconstruction and so on are not important to the people of the English-speaking part of the country. They want to take care of their lives. They want to take care of their future. They will not be interested in anything other than that. That is, to me, the official position of the United States government. But the United States Congress, as Bo has clearly stated, they have made a resolution that seems to will carry our case to the Security Council, but they have tinted it with what Bo has just said. You know, you cannot be asking La République du Cameroun to organize an inclusive dialogue, which includes us. They are talking as if we are still one country. That is understandable because they have not at least recognized us as a nation, and I.
Well, we lost you, Barrister John.
What is happening? I think that what is happening is that the U.S. Congress, with all the political intakes, the lobbying from all the other people, they are trying to balance up whatever they want to take to the Security Council. And the important thing is that they should take it to the Security Council, and we'll know who are our friends and who are not.
All right.
I think we should not push it too far. But what we are doing now is good. That we inform all members of Congress as to our case. Bo has very professionally put the pitfalls, which I agree with in total.
All right. Let me ask both of you, Tumfoin and Barrister. And so, when the U.S. Begins to shift responsibility to French Cameroon and the French and immediated settlement, maybe within Cameroon, maybe out of Cameroon. Those who have been going around saying that the U.S. is initiating some talks, U.S. peace talks, where does it leave them, Tumfoin?
Let me take that first.
Are you muted?
Let me take that first.
Okay, go on, Tumfoin. I think Tumfoin is not muted. Please go on, please.
Okay.
So just to say, answer very briefly, there are no U.S.-led mediations coming. I mean, all those who have been talking about them, they're just dreaming. The State Department is very clear as to what is happening. They support the Swiss-led process. It's important that we continue to analyze what Barrister So was saying a moment ago, because of the politics that's being played up on Capitol Hill. The people of Ambazonia have to watch out what the U.S. is trying to do from the point of view of the politics, from the point of view of politicians on Capitol Hill, because their step on moving issues to the Security Council is not intended to help Ambazonia. They know that the French are waiting in the Security Council with a veto vote, the same way that the U.S. has been waiting with a veto for anything concerning Palestine. So this issue is not a matter to be moved to the Security Council. This is an issue to be debated between the people of Ambazonia before a mediator. So people should not jump to jubilate stuff that doesn't work in favor of Ambazonia. The people who are pushing for a Security Council debate on this matter, for discussion about it, they are looking for a shortcut to deliver us back to the French. We have to resist that process. And that process, you resist it by being available in internationally supported mediations, which for the moment, there's only one available. Everybody who has been wishing for a US process or for a Norwegian process or for a Spanish process, if they give us one, we will go to the process. You go to a process because you show to the world that you are pursuing a political solution. So you shut the door on people who want to pursue a military solution. The U.S. government has, and even the Senate, has been very clear about the kind of stuff that's going on in La République du Cameroun. For instance, they indict them on using child soldiers. They're very clear. They hold them responsible for everyone who has died in Ambazonia, because the safety of our people, including the safety of self-defense volunteers, they are not an army. They are not an armed group. You hear the U.S. Congress say something as scandalous as to say that the conflict escalated when armed groups declared independence. No, armed groups did not declare independence. The peaceful people of Ambazonia declared independence, and then an armed terrorist government, a rogue regime, invaded Ambazonia and started a war. That is what escalated. So they should not try to move these tables, move the pole, because we are watching. And people of Ambazonia, please continue watching, because this campaign that we have to pursue is something we cannot sleep on. The people on ground zero are not sleeping because the guns are speaking in their ears. They are hearing all this, thunder explode all left and right. I'm glad that they're not frightened by it and that they're taking it in stride. But for those of us who live in the diaspora, it is our job to stay awake and to keep Congress on its feet and alert with respect to what our people want.
Thank you. And before, Barrister John, before I get to you, I would just like to quickly let Ambazonians know that, listen, we have the final say. Ambazonians have the final say to the final resolution to this conflict. It is in our hands. We will have to give it up or hold on to it until French Cameroon humbles herself and negotiate. The Security Council, no government, no U.S. government can dictate to us what we become in this process. Barrister John, let me let you come in there.
Yes, sir. I agree with you in toto, and I want to state that I don't think the Congress is taking the issue of negotiations to the Security Council. It is taking the issue of a ceasefire, immediate ceasefire, to the Security Council. I don't think that the Congress does not know that there is a Swiss-led process. I don't think so, because I read through the resolution. I was going to see where they negated the Swiss-led process, and I didn't see it. So, and if the State Department, the U.S. government, the European Union, the Germany, Canada, and others are supporting the list, the Swiss-led process, I don't see how the United States, after supporting the list, the Swiss-led process, can turn around and ask La Republic to set another negotiating platform or forum. That is not what I read in that resolution. I think they want to take the issue of immediate ceasefire to the Security Council. For the negotiations, I think the Swiss-led process is known by everybody, even though nobody talked about it in the United States Senate. But I would be very surprised that they don't know that the United States government, along with other countries like the European Union, Canada, and so on, are supporting the Swiss-led process. So the Swiss-led process remains the cornerstone. What they are saying is that La Republique should join us in the Swiss-led process without having to say that openly. And as I said before, there's a lot of lobbying. Chris, you just talked of a woman who is there laboring up and down, trying to labor and to lobby for one Cameroon and all that. But the Swiss-led process is alive, and I don't think the United States government is thinking otherwise. That's why I'm saying you should make a dichotomy between the United States Senate and the State Department. Until then, until the State Department says otherwise, we will hang on to the Swiss-led process. And of course, Chris, you just said it. It's all dependent upon us. We are going to increase firepower. We are going to continue to fight these people. Whatever happens, whether the U.S. Senate says what, that engages all of them. And the last thing I want to state is that this is a resolution, it's not a law in the United States. It's a resolution, and the United States government is not obligated to take everything and all that is said in that resolution. So, but Congress would put pressure on the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations to table the issue of ceasefire to take place. And like Bo said, for the first time they mentioned about war. They know that it's a war between the Southern Cameroons and La Republique du Cameroon. So therefore, the ceasefire is going to be discussed in the Security Council. Whatever the result, we know that France is ready with a veto. But you know what the U.S. does when somebody vetoes? The coalition of the willing. And I want to tie this with the resolution that has just been voted in the United Nations, the responsibility to protect. That allows governments, powerful governments, to intervene and stop killing and crimes against humanity, serious violation of human rights in any nation in the world.
All right.
That is what they mean by the responsibility to protect. So I think that if I tie that with that resolution, I don't think that it is harmful to us. But what Bo has analyzed as the pitfalls of that resolution are quite correct.
All right. Thank you. Before we change topics, Comrade Bo, you put out a statement in which you want every Ambazonian to forward to their senators, forward to their congressmen and women. Can you give the public a little more information about that so that everybody in the U.S. can get engaged and let every senator, every congressman and woman to get that petition, please?
It's going on to Congress. 68 members of the Senate have already received it, so we are 32 members to go. A lot of members of the House of Representatives have also received that letter. You can get the letter online. It's available on nearly all WhatsApp groups. We have spilled it around on text message. We have also sent it to email groups. All what you need to do, you pick up the letter, you decide what parts of it you like. If you don't like certain parts, you don't have to include them in your letter. So you adapt the letter to yourself, you put it under your name, and you go out to your own member of Congress. The way to reach your member of Congress is if you go to the Congress website, you can find all of their addresses, all of their telephone numbers, all of their emails. You can talk to any one of them anytime. But the easiest way for you to engage with respect to this letter is copy the letter, go into the website of Congress, or go to Google, type in your state and ask to contact your member of Congress. They will immediately pop up the web address of your member of Congress, depending on where you live and where you're typing in the address from. You then go in and you will have a template that allows you to provide your name, your email, your telephone number, and to paste that message. So you paste the message, you contact your member of Congress. Once you send the letter to them, call the member of Congress. They are now answering phones because they are offsite, they are at home. Please call your member of Congress so that they know, I send in a letter, I want action on it. This is the United States of America. You have got power, so use it for the benefit of your people and your family back in Amazonia. We are not going to let La République and their lobby firms beat us in this game. We own this game and we are going to win.
All right, great. So, Ambazonians, I guess you have listened to that. That is the action that we need to take out there. That's the action we need to take out there. Now, besides that particular action, there is still one more action that we need to take. And let me read it briefly to you before I jump over to the next subject. There is a lady, there is this lady lobbying the USA, both Congress and Senate, to coordinate with France, to kill this struggle. She is lobbying that it is not, that the conflict in Amazonia is not an international conflict. She is saying that no other country has to be involved. The U.S. should take off her hands off the conflict. The matter should be settled between Amazonia and Cameroon and the French. But the message, the action message we are getting is, it says, please, let us get to this lady. Let us get to this lady and the world to know that our problem is no longer a domestic problem. It's not a Cameroon problem. It is a problem between two sovereign states, Amazonia and French Cameroon. Now, I have a note here that actually came from the notebook. Unfortunately, I didn't prepare it to put it on the screen for you to take a look. But I have a note here from the desk of this lady whose name I will bring to you. And the note says, and I quote, not a problem of Anglophone versus Francophone, but beer versus non-beer. That is what she says. Not a problem between Anglophone versus Francophone, but beer versus non-beer. So in other words, because we are non-beers, essentially she is saying our problem is against beer. No, we don't have a problem with beer. Before beer, there was ahijo, and we had the same grievances. Beer only amplified them. We've come to the end where the thing is hanging on our neck, and if ahijo were still here, possibly it would still be hanging on our neck, And we would be saying we are done. So it's not about ahijo, it's not about beer, it's about the system. He said more international pressure, structural changes. These are the solutions they are preferring. Structural changes, special status, decentralization. That's what they mean. Not in the country where governors are still appointed, not in the country where DOs exist. I don't know where they got, of course, only French colonies have DOs. Everywhere, as I said from the beginning, the cities and the towns, the villages, they are ruled by mayors, and they are not appointed. They are elected by the people. The so-called regional councillors or regional houses they are now trying to conduct an election for, they will still be appointed. They will still be appointed by the regime. What difference does it make? We are done with them. So, but let me give you the contact for this, the name and the contact for this lady. Let me see the contact. Oh my, I guess it didn't give me the no. Okay, the name of this lady is Daniela Montemarano. Montemarano. I'm going to spell that for you. Again, the name is Daniela. Daniela. D-A-N-I-E-L-L-A. Daniela. And the second name or last name there is Montemarano. Montemarano. So I think it sounds Italian. And that Montemarano is spelled this way. Somebody pin it on your screen there, please. The spelling of the last name is M as in Martin, O Orange, N Nancy, T Thomas, E Edward, M Martin, A Apple, R Richard, A Apple again, N Nancy, and O Orange. That is the name M-O-N-T-E-N, no T-E-M-A-R-A. A-R, oh, I'm sorry, I'm mixing this up. Again, let me take that again. M-O-N as in Nancy, T-E-M as in Martin, A-R-O-A-N as in Nancy, and then the last word there is O. That is actually her Twitter handle. So you Twitter that account or search that account, you will find her, and please let her know, send a message to Daniela. Let her know this problem, this crisis is not between, it's not Anglophones as they call it. By the way, we are not Anglophones, we are Ambazonians. Let her know we are not Anglophones, we are Ambazonians, and the struggle is not about Ambazonians against Paul Biya. No, it is against the institution, the country that is called La République du Cameroun. And that he should understand that any effort at lobbying the USA to get Cameroon to resolve this internally is not going to work. It's not going to work. Let her know that we know all that she is doing. In fact, I have notes here from her own notebook on her own desk. Let her know that we know what she is trying to do. Others have come and tried and were vociferous, and they withdrew. Remember the National Museum article that was published trying to give the rights of negotiations to French Cameroon because they consider it an internal problem, and that article was actually paid $50,000. Immediately we raised our voices, they withdrew. But that is the name. Please Twitter that lady and tell her this struggle is not between Ambazonia and Paul Biya. It is between Ambazonia and French Cameroon. She can call them Francophones if she likes. But gentlemen, let's move to this other subject, which is
before you move, Chris,
critical at the moment.
Before you move, Chris,
restrictions placed on Bamenda. The restrictions placed on Bamenda by colonial forces. Colonial forces, the colonial mayor, the colonial governor in Bamenda. I have essentially stated here that they have declared Operation Clean Bamenda. We are declaring Operation Erase Every Man in Uniform, in French Cameroon uniform in Bamenda. Why am I wrong?
Look, my brother, we've reached a stage here where the international community needs to know that this is what happens in genocide. We have already gone through this before. When you brought Professor Gregory Stanton, he explained the different phases of genocide. We are at the implementation phase of genocide right now in Ambazonia. We have gone through the point where we were called dogs and cockroaches, roaches. Now it is the time, according to Colonel Nkao, or is it Brigadier Nkao, whoever he is, according to him, this is the time to clean out the roaches. We saw when they told us that, you know, they were going to seize cutlasses. And that is what happened also in Rwanda. Then we began to see people floated down in rivers, mortal remains being floated down the river, the same way it happened in Rwanda. What the world needs to know is that La République du Cameroun is turning on a genocide machine in Bamenda right now. It has now been 5 days when people have had to hunker down at home, where the La République du Cameroun is using starvation as an instrument of war, where they are shutting down the food markets preferably because they want to make sure that people do not have the means to live, that people don't have the means to survive. This is the same La République soldiers who raided markets and moved market women into the brigades, into the gendarme stations, the police stations, so that they could use as human shields to prevent themselves from being attacked by amber boys. What needs to happen to the people of Bamenda? I was there with you when we had to topple the state of emergency. People of Bamenda, you need to remember what we did. What we did was you shut the town down. You make sure that they cannot move any reinforcement, that they cannot get backup in. You do not go in and close your doors. You have got to stand up and fight. Remember, they are going to kill you if you surrender or if you don't. The reason you must fight back is it is the only thing that God himself is asking you to do, to defend yourself when someone is out to kill you. We have to do this together. You cannot let Nchobu be attacked, or Alabukam be attacked, or Nkwen be attacked and isolated, like we saw Bafut being attacked. And this is a message that is valid for all of Ambazonia. It means that Kumba has to be hot. It means that Boya has to be hot. It means that Mutengene has to be hot. You cannot allow La République du Cameroun to fight Ambazonia on one front. We must make sure that when we coordinate this action, it is happening all across Ambazonia. Do not back down, people of Ambazonia. People of Bamenda, do not back down. It is your responsibility to defend yourself. It is your responsibility to prevent these people from getting back up. Make sure they cannot come down Bamenda Station Hill. Make sure they cannot move around in your city. Every one of you is a target. Every one of you is a target. And so you must make sure that every military person who is out to kill you, that you are first to take them down. And I say this without need to hide myself. I know that they're looking for how, to pick up leaders in the diaspora who might be asking for this war to continue. We are not asking for the war to continue. We are asking for La République du Cameroun to get out of Ambazonia. We're asking for the world to recognize that Ambazonia is a sovereign state, and we're asking for invaders and genociders to get out, or they are going to become a military target for our people who are defending themselves.
Barrister John, sir, what is your take?
My take is that let me take the legal part of it. There is a document that was signed by three people: General Ekongwase, General Nkavale, and the policeman, the regional head of the police, call somebody Emil Motenzi or whatever. I want to point out something here. You remember the Rwanda massacre? They used the same word, Operation Clean the Tutsi. They used that same word. And Bo, now you have an extra client to add on our list of accused persons. Out of those 3 who signed that document, we have already 2. The other one is that commissioner of police. I don't know. You have to include him on what you are working on. You know what I'm talking about.
He's on board.
Now, what they have done is they have tied the knot for genocide. They have declared that they are going to clean our people. The word clean, Bamenda, means get rid of everybody in Bamenda. Undesirables. That is what it means, and that is the language of genocide in law. Having said that, look, Ekongwese is the only Ambazonian among the 3 who signed that document. He is one of our accused persons. I know Ekongwese so well. He's the greatest hypocrite I have ever met. He knows me. We were in Douala together. Let me tell you, these people are going to face the music at the ICC. And before they do that, they should know that Bamenda is slippery even in the dry season. That the operation to clean Bamenda will end up in a bloodbath between the 2 sides. We are ready. We fight guerrilla warfare because we are not a trained army. We are civilians. Our restoration forces are civilians, but they cannot allow our people to be slaughtered by cleaning Bamenda. Therefore, I am calling on all restoration forces, I know they are already ready, to make sure that our people are protected from these animals. If they think that they can clean Bamenda, why are they going through the back doors? Why are they going through bananas from Bali right back to Ngomagam? Let them face the people directly. Bamenda is ready for them. I am not saying this. I'm not missing words. You know, I'm from Bamenda. I'm from Mankon, and I know what is happening there right now. Let them face our boys head on. If they think they have some what we call in English canas. Thank you, Chris.
All right, thank you. I think Tom Fine also made a vital point there. I think the moment will come that every part of Ambazona would have to support Bamenda from wherever they are. And I think this idea that in Ambazonia, nobody in French Cameroon military uniform, police uniform, gender uniform should feel comfortable in Bamenda. Anywhere in Ambazonia should be implemented. Let them know that every Ambazonian just doesn't want to see their faces. And again, as I said before, please be very, very smart. Be very, very smart. Know who is your neighbor, because the same people going out to kill your people, kill you, are your neighbors. Some of them are your neighbors, and we must begin to track them down one after the other. Let us jump quickly to this other subject, and then we will call it a day. I'm talking about these so-called regional elections that French Cameroon is also now trying to put together in Ambazonia. Barrister John, let me start with you. I guess they just keep on dreaming, right?
They keep on dreaming, Chris. I don't know. The electorate of that election is the councillors and some chiefs, and so it's an indirect election according to their law. But let me tell you this: we have said and will continue to say there will be no election in Ambazonia. If anybody, whether your name is on that list or you are campaigning, our restoration forces have definite instructions know what to do with you. There will be no election in Ambazonia. We don't expect anybody to go out on that election day. If you go out on that day, you are doing so at your own risk.
Thank you,
Whatever
Vice
happens
John.
on the 6th of December.
Thank you.
Yes.
Now, in the past elections, these people sat in Yaoundé, sat in Douala, sat in Bamenda, and contested for offices in Bamenda, in Fundong, in Kambe, in Motengene, in Lebialem, in Mamfe. But this one, they hope to set up these things at a regional level. Where are they going to run to? They can't run to Yaoundé.
Well, I mean, it is always a big promotion to call anything that's happening in La République du Cameroun or organized by La République du Cameroun an election, because it is never an election. It is a selection. That's what they always do. And because it is a selection, it is really just dependent on the man in Yaoundé. It's always dependent on Paul Biya Bimvondo to decide who it is that he wants, because that person is the one that kisses up the most. So when they find an Atanganji, they want to make him the one that will be kissing up next. So that is the purpose of what they're calling a regional election, which I call a regional selection. So the purpose of our operation must be to signal to the world that the people of Ambazonia do not associate themselves with whatever they are doing, which they are going to have to do in darkness. They are going to have to do in a hole, because they cannot do it publicly in Ambazonia. They know that. They cannot bring in enough forces to be able to do that across Ambazonia on that day. So they are going to have to do it in a hole. In the meantime, what the people of Ambazonia need to do is, every time, in my opinion, when they announce this nonsense called election, we should run a parallel operation consisting of reaffirming what it is that our people want. And the infrastructure for us to do that is available. I continue to say it. We need to send the clear message to the world that our people are in a different direction. They belong somewhere else, and these buffoons belong somewhere else. And the people who are enablers, who are working with them, are with them in La République du Cameroun, even if their bodies are in Ambazonia. Those are councillors in Ambazonia who have been selected to be councillors on behalf of the thieving regime. They need to know that being an enabler has never been a good thing for people who are fighting against those who want independence for themselves. They can ask every Algerian, they can ask everyone who tried to fight against. They can ask the French, those of the French who decided that they were going to stay back in France and cooperate with Germany. It never ends well for you. It never ends well. There's no reason for you to be involved with this. And in any case, part of the reason that we see what La République is doing right now, including the election, is to send a signal to this United Nations that they are doing something. They are implementing that their thing called the outcome of the Grand National Dialogue. That is the signal they are sending. And the signal our people should send is that we reject it, which is why you see them in panic mode as we approach the 22nd of September and the 1st of October. They realize that Bamenda is going to be coming out big time. And they're saying to themselves, how can we clamp down on this city in such a way as to prevent a repeat of the 22nd of September and the 1st of October? And what the people of Ambazonia need to prepare for is to prepare to defy everything. Look, guys, these people have to go around in vehicles. You stop that bloody thing by just putting nails to a plank and laying it on the road.
Yeah, and Tumfa, I'm sorry, and that is the essence of what I was saying in everybody in Ambazonia becoming a fighter, an Amba fighter. You don't have to carry a gun. Wherever you find them, do what you can do. They are not friends, they are enemies. Get them down, erase them.
I mean, I would not go so far as to use that word, because the point is that we are such decent people that we are willing to give them a pass. We realize that these idiots in uniform are there with a gun to their heads as well. Now there's something we can do for you. If you want to desert, if you want to escape, signal to the people of Ambazonia. We will get you out of there. We will get you into neighboring whatever Nigeria. We will recover the stick which we need. You don't have to fight this war, because if you fight it, you will die. I need to say that in French. Il faut partir, il faut quitter cette armée du Cameroun là, il faut quitter. Si vous ne partez pas, vous allez mourir en Amazonie, vous n'allez pas vous en sortir.
All right, Barrister, so I will give you 50 seconds for the last word, and we will call it a day. I will open the phone line so I can take some calls.
Fellow Ambazonians, I'm addressing more especially Ground Zero and our restoration forces. Though on the 6th of December, we have a job to do. There will be no elections in our territory. And make sure that nobody amongst us, nobody coming from outside, either as a candidate or an elector, because this is an indirect election where we will get councillors and parliamentarians voting. If somebody comes from Yaoundé to visit, somebody who is a parliamentarian in Yaoundé, you suddenly see him in Ambazonia, he is a target. Please, make sure that nothing happens on that day in Ambazonia. I'd like to take this opportunity to again congratulate the restoration forces for getting ready to rescue Bamenda and to rescue other big cities, because, like Bo said, this thing is going to extend to other cities and we must be ready. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ntumfoin. Thank you, Barrister John. I look forward to having you again sometime next week. You have a great day, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you,
ladies
Chris.
and gentlemen, that was Ntumfoin Bo Herbert there, and Barrister John. I will use this moment now to open the phone lines. It's been a while that we communicated with Ground Zero. I will open the phone lines for those of you who would want to call in to give us your personal experiences or report anything you would love to report to us. Now, before I get the phone lines open, I just want to once more remind all of you of the baby that I created out there. The baby that I created out there called africatownhall.com. africatownhall.com. africatownhall.com is exactly what Facebook is doing, but this is exclusively by Africans for Africans, as you find it there. So please, I'd like you to go in there, sign up. It's a free registration. You don't, just the way you do with Facebook. You have to go on Facebook and sign up, get an account. It's the same thing. You go to africatownhall.com, you sign up, and you have an account there. Anything that you do on Facebook, you will be able to do it on africatownhall.com. But the good thing is that it is all about Africa. Africa. That is a platform in which nobody can shut you down. That's a platform in which nobody will take down your videos or whatever that you say about the French, whatever you say about the Chinese. Nobody will take you down, but you just have to be civil. You just have to be civil. So please, log in there, africatownhall.com. Now, the phone lines are open. The phone lines are open. Call the number you find on your screen. I would like to take phone calls, particularly from Ground Zero. So let's do that. The lines are open. Go ahead and call the phone line you have on your screen if you have a contribution to make. The phone lines are open. And while you do that, I just want you to know that there is just so much to talk about. I shall be back here on Saturday to bring you more information about the lockdown coming up, bring you more details about the lockdown coming up on Monday. We're urging again our people up in Bamenda in particular, to please get ready for and prepare for the lockdown. Let me get the first caller from ground zero. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. May I know where you are calling in from, please?
I'm calling from Boya.
Okay, you are calling from Boyo. Thank you. How is Boyo today?
Boya is very fine.
All right. What is your contribution, sir?
I want to say that we used to say the end is here, and the end is really here. We are ready for Cameroon, for the Republic of Cameroon now.
That is very good to hear. I hope that resolve is the resolve coming from everybody out there in Boya.
Yes, sir.
Do you see people in Boya being very serious, prepared for anything?
Yeah, sir. If they have done so for 4 years, that means they are ready.
Thank you. I like the point you make. Thank you. Thank you for calling. He says if they have been there for 4 years, it means they are ready. I made a point here, a connection here last time with Biafra. And I stated Biafra went for, I think, only 3 years, 1967 to 1970, just 3 years. And they surrendered. We have gone for more than 3 years, ladies and gentlemen. No reason why we can give up now. Absolutely not. Not. Okay, let me get the next caller here. All right. Hello, Gabonese.
Chris, I'm happy to hear you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you guys have ABC back on the ground zero. It was never banned by anybody.
I was so excited because so many civilians on the ground, our fellow citizens, they were so worried about the ABC news. After Eric Tato came out with the fake news that SBC have been bound with all those fake news about the revolution. But I was so impressed, and I'm so happy that ABC is back on track. So the civilians in Fako in particular, Moyoka local government, Puya local government, Victoria, and the rest, they hail ABC and they are fighting and make sure that we shall reach Boya together.
Thank you. And let me appreciate all of you who are out there defending the country and sacrificing your lives, living in the bushes and coming out to defend Ambazonia. You guys are the most courageous, and you are the reason why Ambazonians are still having hope.
Yeah, thank you very much, Comrade Chris. I want to send this message to our fellow comrades, and I want to appreciate our fighters in the Boyo, Bui, Mbengui, and Bamenda Central, and those in Bali, Momo, etc., and all the 13 counties that that the United Nations General Assembly is going to take place on the 22nd of September 2020. But we are making the world to understand that we will not allow our effort. We have to fight until we free Southern Cameroon. Every single soul, every single fighter that have died in the revolution must smile, because it's only independence that will put smile in their faces. And we have decided that we will fight until one man standing, no turning back until Ambazonia is fully restored.
Wonderful. Are you talking to some of the commanders and generals up in Bamenda about the situation there?
Yeah, we are communicating, and the situation is going well. And the banner was imposed by the Republic of Cameroon. I just got the news that the ban have been, cars are working now and motorbikes are working, and some civilians, they have also sent messages to us that they respect the ban or any law that is being given by the interim government and other restoration forces. So in the days ahead, we are working closely we are going to collaborate with those fighters in the northern zone to make sure that we work together. Did you say what is going to happen?
Did you say you just learned that they have reversed the decision and bikes are now free to circulate anywhere in Bamenda now?
Yeah, the message I got from one civilian that called me.
How long ago?
It's just about some hours in the afternoon. About 1 a.m. 1 p.m. Sorry.
What?
One civilian told us that in Bamenda, the bike rider they were trying to circulate, and when they met the police officer on the way, they wanted to return back to the houses. The police were saying that no, come and walk. Nobody will disturb you. I don't understand what is happening, but I believe that the ban have been maybe the ban have been relieved, but I haven't heard the news about that. But for what I'm observing and what I'm getting on social media, it shows that motorbikes and cars are circulating in Bamenda.
Well, we do not want any type of clandestine reversal of that decision. They publish a statement to that effect, and if they want to reverse it, we expect them to also publish another statement beside which we are going to indefinitely seal Bamenda and the environs, and no car is going to move. There will be no clandestine reversal of that decision. It has to be properly announced. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Sorry. I want to explain something to you.
Okay.
Well, we are the owners of Ambazonians. We, the restoration forces and the interim government, we give the laws and we make sure we follow the rules. So we are still observing, and we are still waiting for the Corona governor to come out with an official statement to uplift the ban. Failure to do so, we will carry on with our lockdown that have been proposed and will take place by the interim government, backed by our restoration forces. So we are waiting this
and
ahead.
if I may just add that you guys in the southern zone should begin to strategize and think of what you can do to support those who are battling with their lives in Bamenda. The restoration forces up, especially in Fako area, Meme area, where there are targets you can easily go after. You got to start thinking of what you can do to back up the fighting force up in the city of Bamenda. Let's rain down havoc on those people. And I think you have heard me. Nothing in uniform, in La République du Cameroon uniform, should feel free to move anywhere in Ambazonia, especially Bamenda. Well, Governors, your last word, please.
Hello. Yeah, thank you, Comrade Chris. You heard what happened in Munya last Sunday.
Right.
Last Sunday, our restoration force was in Munya in full force, and one of the terrorists was brought down. And last night, the night breaking today, there was a total crossfire between our restoration forces and the Liberation terrorist occupier forces in Munya. And we are telling the southern zone, Fako in particular, that the days ahead will make sure that we face the common enemy face to face. We are matured and strong enough for over 4 years in the bushes. We are ready to take on any occupational forces that is on our way. There is no turning back. We bet you, we are ready to fight for the next 100 years. As far as Ambazonia will be liberated, we are standing by to make sure that we face Southern Cameroons. We will not turn. There is no turning back. There is no turning back. I swear over the life of our fallen heroes, we shall fight until total and unconditional independence of Southern Cameroons. For that, I assure you.
Thank you, Governors. You are awesome. You are great, and you have become. Your voice has become a household name now in Ambazonia.
Yeah, there is also a problem that is going on now in Ground Zero. Let me say it to all our fellow citizens.
Okay.
French Cameroon military, they are not your friends. They are come into the community. They beat up the little girls, beat up old women, beat up the young guys that are suffering, and they are beating up, looting, and beating our civilians. There are corpses now, as I can tell you, in a poll. Towards my 29 Supremon, there are 2 young guys there now. They are decaying now, as I'm telling you, that they were shot and abandoned there by French Cameroon terrorists. So French Cameroon military, they are arresting civilians now. They go around the bushes, they shoot them and abandon the corpses there. So there are corpses everywhere. And if you go towards the Musaka where the Izaka was trained their dead, there are dead bodies everywhere, and that is where late Wazizi was killed and abandoned and was buried by locals in that area. So the corpse was discovered days after he was killed, and it was in a decomposed state. So French community, our citizens should be very, very careful. When they are arrested, they are being killed and abandoned. As I can tell you, I have my relative was arrested since January 1st, and since today we have not heard anything about him, and he is dead now. I know that maybe they have killed him and abandoned him somewhere, because there are corpses all over the bushes. Right. If you go to Musaka, down to Kona, right up to Po, you will see dead bodies all over the place, that they are killing young youth and abandon them. So fellow citizens, be very, very careful. If you see French community your way, please run for your dear life. They are not your friend. They will arrest you and take you nearby bushes, and they will kill you and abandon your corpses.
All right, and it's also very important to emphasize that French Cameroon forces are now moving in plain clothes. They are now moving in plain clothes and carrying out some of these heinous crimes. So, Ambazonians, that is why I also said from the onset that please know who your neighbors are. Know who your neighbors are. They leave your neighborhood, go out and carry out these heinous killings, and come back to live with you in the same neighborhood. Watch out for who your neighbors are. And let us remember the time has come. The moment is now. Every Ambazonian, you don't have to wait for the restoration forces to go out and launch attacks. Whatever you can do, do it, and let them know that they are not safe anywhere in Ambazonia. I don't know why I see those young guys and I pity them. I pity them because I don't know what they are dying for. What are they dying for? We don't know. So please, the moment has come for all of us to become fighters. Let me get the next caller here. I guess the connection is not good. Okay, that's a bad connection there. Oh, let me see. All right, the phone lines are open, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead, call the number that you have that you find on your screen. In the meantime, I'm reminding you of africatownhall.com. africatownhall.com is a place you want to be. Let me get to ground zero again. Hello, sir.
Hello, this Secretary Chris.
Yes, sir. Good evening. And where are you calling from, please?
I'm calling from ground zero.
Precisely what town or what city, sir?
I'm calling from Nkwen.
From Nkwen. Okay, thank you for the call. What is your contribution?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask some questions.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a fighter in Tyson.
Oh, you are a fighter in Tyson? Okay, wonderful. Good to hear your voice, sir.
Yeah, I was browsing online on Facebook the other day, and I saw this guy from National Telegraph, Eric Tato, putting up some information about you and Sako Ekome embezzling some money for the struggle. Is that, I don't know what you guys have to say about that, because we are here, we don't even have bullets, we don't have weapons to fight.
Do you know the leader of your local government?
Yes.
Who is your leader?
No, I will not call names, sir. It's just a question I want you to clarify the public about.
Right, that's why I'm also asking that question. Because if you know the leader of do you also know the leader of your county?
Yeah, I know all of them.
So you also know your security chief, right?
Yes.
Do you realize that when you have those questions, they are the people you go to? Let me explain to you why. If you call me like you just called me now and told me you are one of our fighters on the ground, which is wonderful. But if you are saying, hey, you call me and say, hey, Secretary Chris, we don't have bullets, we don't have guns, how am I going to know that you are one? That is why we have created a system in the way that when you have problems in your own communities, from your own camps, the first person you report to are your LGA leaders, your county leaders, your security leaders, because they are bound to know you and know where you're operating, so that when you make a demand, if they cannot satisfy you and they have to come to the central government, at least they can vouch for you. But you call me, I don't know whether you're a fighter or not, you may be one. You understand what I mean?
I understand, Secretary Chris.
All right, because when you talk about money, the money that has been drafted does not come to the IG. The money that has been drafted goes to every local government, because every local government drafted, and they are the ones managing the funds. They are the ones that have to meet your needs out there. That is why we have done this county by county, LGA by LGA. I think, doesn't that make sense? Just imagine if everybody was calling here and saying, hey, we need this, we need that. That is what was happening during my trip to Boyo, where everybody was calling from ground zero, we are this, we are that, and there was no organization, and so money was given to people who squandered it. And you people still left without arms in your hands.
Okay, okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay, okay. Yeah, it makes sense.
Thank you.
It makes sense.
Thank you. God bless you.
Yeah,
You guys remain safe, okay?
Thank you. Yeah, God bless you too.
All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you for that call. I hope that others learn from it also. Let me get back to ground zero again. Hello, sir. Hello. Okay, bad connection there. Let me see who next. Let me see who next. All right. All right, ground zero. I like ground zero calling. Hello, sir.
Good evening, Secretary Chris.
Good evening, sir. May I know what county you are calling from, please?
I'm calling from Ngoketunjia.
Ngoketunjia, the land of Ndob rice.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Ngoketunjia in Ndob.
Right. What is going on there, sir?
I'm just calling to. I overheard Gabonese saying, giving some information that is not accurate. Please let us not make some information that would look good. Meanwhile, we on the ground, we are facing a lot of difficulties. He just plays an information that it's as if they uplift the ban or whatsoever. That is not true. There is no circulation of anything in Bamenda.
Mm-hmm.
We maintain our law since they say they ban the bike. So vehicles also, all the taxi drivers or whatsoever, nobody asked them. They just decided to sit in their houses. Because what the government, the La Republic government is doing is not good. So Gabonese.
Hello. Hello. All right. I think a bad connection there with the caller. I just want you out there in Bamenda to know we are not going to accept, even if 1,000 motorbikes begin to circulate in Bamenda tomorrow without an official statement from the colonial officers uplifting the restrictions, we will still have a lockdown in Bamenda until that decision is officially lifted. All right, let me try this again. Bad connection here. Bad connection here. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see who else is here. Let me take this U.S. caller, and see. Hello, sir. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Secretary Chris.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir. May I know where you're calling from, please?
Oh, not actually on ground zero. I'm calling from Minnesota, USA.
Okay, good to hear your voice. What are you up to?
No, I just called to express my gratitude to your program today. At least it gave a lot of hope. And also saying Barrister Fuljan. I mean, it's really enormous getting to hear you too, because Eric actually gave a false information yesterday about you and Barrister falling apart, as usual.
Well, I don't know why. Hold on a second. I don't know why anybody even listens to that guy. I mean, are you not tired of all the lies? ABC banned, Field Marshal arrested, Irene Guo has reported Sako to the FBI, John Frunso has reported Sako to Maryland police. Come on. I mean, I can go on and naming. I think his name should change from Epom to Liar. Liar Epom. Somebody hashtag that.
You can say that, Secretary Chris. At least the sabotage has been too much, but we can't stop spying on what they got and all their, their malicious deeds. We have to still listen to them once in a while. But anyway, I was just calling to congratulate you, Secretary Chris, for the enormous work you've been doing, and to say more grace to your elbows and to the team.
All
we
right,
stand behind the IG and let the revolution move on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the call. Have a great day. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the last lucky caller. I will take it, and then we will call it a day. The last lucky caller. And if there is none, I call it a day. I think we've had a good time here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, all right. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this, but remember, get up, get to Africa Town Hall. Get to africatownhall.com and sign up, and let's discuss Pan-Africanism over there. And again, it is as simple as Facebook for those of you watching by way of Facebook. I shall be here on Saturday for a very, very special broadcast, and I'd like to invite all of you back on Saturday, and then on Monday gonna be special. Please go ahead and keep up encouraging Ground Zero. They are the reason we are doing this. They are the reason we are here. Please let us encourage Ground Zero, and let us, if you have a relative, a friend in Bamenda, talk to them, tell them to remain courageous. I hope that they are watching me from Bamenda, and they can understand what we are trying to do. If Bamenda is not free, La République du Cameroon cannot operate any business in that city. That is our resolve. That is our determination. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. And I look forward to seeing you again on Saturday. You have a good night.
You need a financial instrument that provides a hedge against inflation, 100% guarantees that you will not lose your money, has tax-free growth and distribution, the ability to take an interest-free loan, avoids probate, provides creditor protection, guarantees your family that your income will be replaced should you die, helps you protect yourself financially against chronic, critical, and terminal illness, and of course allows you to take money anytime for any reason at any age without a tax penalty. You need only as little as $50 to invest per month. Contact Irene Fombo. Tel 513-5014-177. or send an email to irenenpmsn@gmail.com. You need a financial instrument that provides a hedge against inflation, 100% guarantees that you will not lose your money, has tax-free growth and distribution, the ability to take an interest-free loan, avoids probate, provides creditor protection, guarantees your family that your income will be replaced should you die, helps you protect yourself financially against chronic, critical, and terminal illness, and of course allows you to take money anytime for any reason at any age without a tax penalty. You need only as little as $50 to invest per month. Contact Irene Fombo. Tel 513-5014-177 or send an email to irenenpmsn@gmail.com. You need a
Yes. Where's that down?
But come on, no, as compared to that, you go, you try to go.
Where? Your uncle's good aside.
So
at the possum.
No, where videotape, place to snap like this. It is this snap as you do videotape.
Okay.
Yes.